If a property is in arrears, am I still able to create a deal around it? Hey everybody, this is Zachary Beats with smartrealestatecoach.com. Welcome to another Thursday Q&A. We've come across a lot of deals lately within the associate and Wicked Smart community. And these deals have brought along some nuances, such as arrears. Now, there's a couple important aspects that go into this answer to this question, which is, can I complete a deal if there's arrears? There's some moving parts, so I want to bring these to light. When you're working with a property that has arrears, it's important that you know a couple things. It's important that you know the amount of arrears that someone's in, how far along or how many back payments they actually owe, what the status is associated with, is it in pre-foreclosure, is it in foreclosure? Those things are very important when it comes to determining if you should actually bring some energy to that deal. Because if it's in pre-foreclosure, it tends to be a little too far along for us. If it's in foreclosure and there's an auction date set, then it's definitely not a deal. Now, after you analyze that, and let's say that it's just in arrears, you have the ability to catch it up, it's not in pre-foreclosure, it's not in foreclosure, there's a couple other aspects you need to analyze. How much do you expect to get from a tenant buyer as far as a pay number one? How much non-refundable deposit do you expect to get on this property? Is there a spread every month? What is the principal pay down on this property? Is there equity in this house? Meaning, after you catch up on arrears, is there plenty of equity for you to be able to walk into? Now, after you determine all of that, meaning if there's equity in the property, then it definitely can be worked through. If there's no equity, I would say that this is probably not a deal. If there's a spread and you're gonna have a long-term deal with this, now you're still there's some good aspects in that you still want to continue to work through this. What is not a deal is if there's no equity, no spread, principal paydown's minimal. Obviously, that's just a bad deal in general. And the arrears are way too far behind. So that's what I suggest. I suggest that you take the first aspect that we talked about, analyze that, make sure that you're in a good position. Number two is then I would analyze the last set of questions that we went over. And then you can determine two routes. If this is something that you want to continue to work on, you can continue two routes. You can take the property contingent upon finding a third party. And then once you have a non-refundable deposit, you can then catch up the arrears. Or if there's not too high of arrear payment, you could commit to it, especially if it's a really good deal and you see that there's a large amount of profit in these 3 paydays. So those are the two routes that you can go from that aspect. So it's hard to tell you yes or no on this. Your job is to go ahead and analyze those two aspects that we talked about and then determine whether or not this property is going to be profitable or not. I suggest that you continue to look at these types of properties that are in arrears because you may be one of the only solutions for these types of sellers. So I continue to pride you with that and continue to tell you to get super creative on structuring these deals. If you're enjoying these Thursday Q&As and you're on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and comment below. I'd love for you to comment and tell us about a deal that you're working on, and we'd certainly be happy to give some advice there. You also may want to use support@smartrealestatecoach.com as well, especially if you're involved in the QLS home study course. If you're on Facebook, go ahead and like, share, pass this along, and also comment below as well. We'd love to communicate with you there. Happy Thursday, and we'll speak to you again soon.